project's been running for a year, and during the course of that time we've had staff from 28 different schools in England who've worked on creating resources for 14 subjects.
It's really just brought together everything that we've been doing with our character education programme. It's given us a superb framework to work with, and it's just made the communication with staff much easier, because now staff are much clearer on what character education means. They can link it clearly to the virtues, and they've got a much better understanding of what it is that we're trying to achieve.
We believe that character education fosters the development of ethical and responsible young people. It teaches them the value of caring about other young people, about honesty, about integrity, and about respect.
We've got an obligation to think about the long-term development of the actual pupils themselves, so we're not just sausage factories in terms of we get pupils in, they all come in, we spit them out with a set of results, and then we actually send them off into society and the wider world thinking they've got a set of examination results and that's it, and we leave them at that.
And this programme complements that very nicely, because it demonstrates how all teachers, whatever subject they're from, whether they be teaching maths or science or English or physical education, to ensure that they're not only delivering that curriculum to a high standard, but also helping young people build different and essential virtues such as courage and trust and resilience and compassion.
A really talented GCSE group. However, some of the students in that group do lack optimism and confidence.
With the initial starting point of those two words, they all kind of went down different roads and tried to understand on a personal level where their confidence could be or where their optimism could come from.
And I thought, are these students at this age going to understand? And they came in, all guns blazing, they were fantastic. Some of the diaries, some of the scrapbooks, some of the, the research that the students created was some of the best work I've seen.
There was a student that has created a diary extract, essentially their sketchbook, to show their journey of where they've gone from. I have learned so much about that student on a much more personal level, and she used that to kind of feed her journey and strengthen it into her final piece.
We went for putting all the lessons in place, and we've been trialling them across 10 subject areas, and the feedback from the teachers has been fantastic, because just the delivery of those lessons has made teachers just think about all the missed opportunities that they have within curriculum time to talk about character education, to highlight aspects of good character. And that's really been the strength of delivering this programme, to make teachers more aware of it.
History does really lend itself to having character in the curriculum. With the types of topic and contents that we look at, it can be really thought-provoking, and students can really have a chance to reflect on their own values.
Perseverance comes up as the big one, and then there were kind of grit and curiosity came up quite a lot during the lessons as well.
I think there's a real crossover with character and design technology. Especially with things like motivation, enthusiasm, commitment, resilience, I think is a really important part.
For example, if you take the word courage, you've got to have the courage to actually speak a language. So you can, when you first start in year 7, you can say, right, who has the courage to start talking now? And you'll probably find probably not many people. But by keep repeating the word and explaining what the word courage means, and by the end of the lesson, albeit by the end of a few lessons, students do start to have more courage and have the ability to talk more.
After a while, it was almost like the penny dropped with the students as to why we were talking about it.
It took a good couple of lessons just to get to this small light bulb moment, which was them, seeing, oh yeah, I do want to find out what that is, and oh, it links back to this.
I genuinely think it's changed their thought process. And I guess it's allowed them to question themselves a little bit further, a little bit more in depth.
It helps to bond the students, and it helps them to think about who they are in ways that perhaps other sorts of resources just wouldn't.
I think character development is very important in terms of dealing with the students when they're stuck. I think traditionally it's been a case of you can't do English or maths, it's due to an actual cognitive ability, and it's your actual understanding of that subject. So the idea is you do more English, you do more maths, and you bombard. But what do you actually do when you're doing all that and the students still are failing to make the progress? And that's when I think equipping students with the character development skills, the resilience, the grit, the reflection, to actually get them to look at the learning behaviours that they're demonstrating and applying within school. I think that's when that's really powerful and useful to help students overcome barriers to learning.
The maths curriculum as a whole has got more difficult over the past few years, and I think there is an emphasis really on students being able to tackle challenging and difficult questions. So I think more than ever, actually, that those sort of qualities, the qualities of being resilient and being able to tackle tough questions, I think that's probably more relevant now than it ever has been.
It was great for me to try something new, try something different as a teacher. I thought it developed me as a teacher. I was eagerly waiting to get the resource, look through the resources.
As a result of delivering just the few lessons we've been working with, teachers now want to explore that further. They want to look at other opportunities they've got within the curriculum to bring that out. And the next stage for us is to get the departments working on how they can do that across the whole Key Stage 3 and Key Stage 4 now, and highlight those virtues within lessons.
Not only warmly received by staff and students, it's now something that very, very quickly has become embedded in the ethos of the school. Those improving relationships mean that we are very quickly establishing a very positive climate for learning, and that impacts on standards.
One of the schools that we visited, they were in the process of having HMI come in and prepare them for their next Ofsted. And the HMI actually commented on the effectiveness of the resource.
I saw a massive improvement in effort in my students. They were hooked in because they were looking from their point of view rather than the teacher's point of view and my background and my experience.
The feedback we're getting, just when you're walking through the corridors from staff, has been absolutely fantastic. We've had students coming up to us out of lesson time, talking to us about different virtues, and obviously now the students are being taught in geography, history, maths, and languages, and obviously art and design, and they seem to bounce off each other.
I was talking to a teaching assistant. She was working one-on-one with one of the weakest kids in the school, and he was trying to do this piece on Wayne Rooney. It wasn't getting very far, and the teaching assistant said to him, "Look, why don't you just tell me what you were trying to put down in writing? Just tell me what it is where you're going with it." And so he says, "Oh, my hero's Wayne Rooney," and she asked why. So he said, 1, he plays for my favourite football team, Manchester United, and 2, he shows great perseverance. And if you met this lad, you wouldn't ever believe that he'd come out with it.
I think something that was very important that the Jubilee Centre at the University of Birmingham brought to the project was an ability to, I suppose, stand back from the process of the development of the resources and materials by the teachers and bring an evaluative lens to them to question what worked and also why it worked. So we were able to utilise a number of different research methods and instruments to really look closely at the impact of the programme.
And we are in no doubt that performance virtues, if you help students develop those particular virtues, you're going to see a link to academic performance. For us, it's been one of the biggest factors. We think that helping support students on performance virtues, there has been a clear link to an increase in academic performance.
Since we launched the project last month, we've already been really impressed with the response that we've had. We know the materials have already been popular and downloaded by thousands of people in schools, and we've already got evidence that other schools and other teachers are looking to use the approach to look at their own lesson plans and their own curriculums, to look at how character and important character virtues can actually be taught through the different subjects that they're responsible for.
We're preparing children to confidently face the next stage in their life, the next journey, whether that be further education or the world of work. That's what we're doing with character education.